72-year-old man climbed into a race car that wasn't his. It belonged to his son who is no longer here. And as he drove away from pit road, alone, on an empty racetrack, his own grandson stood high above in the flag stand, watching everything unfold. What happened next has been called one of the most emotional moments grassroots racing has ever witnessed. And by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why. But before we get into it, stick around because there's a detail about this story, something that happened just days before, that changes the way you'll see this entire tribute. I'll get to that, but first let's set the scene. If you're new here, welcome to NASCAR Nation News. We cover the stories that matter to real fans, the human side of the sport, the moments that don't always make the highlight reels but stay with you forever. If that sounds like your kind of channel, hit subscribe and turn on notifications, because we're closing in on our next big subscriber milestone and every single one of you helps us get there. Now let's talk about Charlotte Motor Speedway. The event was the Cookout Summer Shootout, a grassroots racing series, the kind of place where NASCAR's biggest stars once got their start. But this year, the shootout carried a weight nobody expected. Just weeks earlier, the NASCAR world lost one of its most iconic figures, a two-time Cup Series champion, a driver known across the sport for his fire, his talent, and his deep connection with his fans. Gone far too soon at just 41 years old. And in the days that followed, the entire NASCAR community searched for ways to honor him. Drivers spoke about him in victory lanes. Tributes appeared on social media, but nothing compared to what happened over 2 nights at Charlotte. Stay with me because the second night is where this story turns into something none of us will forget. Monday night, the spotlight was on a young racer, a kid who, just weeks before, had lost his father. He climbed into his car for the Young Lions division, his first race back since the tragedy. He finished 6th. To everyone watching, that result didn't matter. What mattered was that he showed up, that he raced, that he kept going. But Tuesday night was different. Because Tuesday night, it wasn't the son who got behind the wheel. It was the grandfather, a 72-year-old man, the patriarch of one of NASCAR's most legendary racing families. A man who, decades earlier, had built race cars out of his own garage, funding 2 cars at once out of his own pocket so his sons could compete. A man who had spent his entire life standing behind other people's dreams. On Tuesday night, it was his turn to step into the spotlight. And what he was about to do would bring an entire grandstand to silence. He climbed into the number 51 Legends car, the very car his son had been scheduled to race in before everything changed. Now here's where it gets chilling. As the field lined up for the pace laps, something unusual happened. The cars formed what's known as a missing man formation, a tribute formation used to honor someone who should have been there but wasn't. And the 72-year-old took his place on the front row. Then, one by one, every other car on the track peeled off toward pit road. One by one, car after car, until there was nothing left on that 1.5-mile oval but a single Legends car. And the man driving it, alone. On the track his sons grew up racing on. In the car his son was supposed to drive. For one full lap. Meanwhile, high above the speedway in the flag stand was his grandson, the same young driver who had raced just 1 night earlier, carrying the weight of losing his dad. Now he stood above the track, holding a flag, about to play a role in this tribute that none of us saw coming. He waved the green flag to send his grandfather around the track. And as the lone car came back down the front stretch, the grandson raised the checkered flag, waving his grandfather and his father's memory across the line. A grandfather behind the wheel, a grandson in the flag stand, both of them honoring the same man, the man they loved, the man they lost. Now here's something most people watching didn't fully understand in the moment, and this is the part of the story that adds even more weight to everything you just heard. Legends cars aren't just small, retro-style race cars used for grassroots events. They're part of NASCAR's official development pipeline, the cars where some of the sport's biggest stars first learned how to race. Future Cup Series champions, future Hall of Famers. Some of the most recognizable names in NASCAR history all came up through Legends racing. And this family's roots in Legends cars go back generations. starting all the way back in Las Vegas, where it all began. Because before the championships, before the trophies, before the national television deals and the Hall of Fame inductions, there was a father in Las Vegas working in his garage building cars for his two sons night after night because that's what it took to give them a shot. Those two sons would go on to become the winningest brothers in NASCAR Cup Series history. Nearly 100 wins combined, multiple championships between them, one of them inducted into the NASCAR Hall of Fame just this year. But on Tuesday night, none of that mattered. Not the championships, not the trophies, not the Hall of Fame plaque. For one lap, it was just a father driving his son's car, and a grandson in the flag stand bringing him home. And that's the story. That's what happened at Charlotte Motor Speedway. A moment that, for a few minutes, turned an entire grassroots racing event into something far bigger than a race. Now I want to hear from you. What does a moment like this mean to you as a fan? Has there ever been another NASCAR tribute that hit you the same way? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one. And if this story moved you the way it moved me, do me a favor, hit that like button. It genuinely helps this channel grow. And if you haven't already, subscribe to NASCAR Nation News, because we're here every single week bringing you the stories that matter most to real fans of the sport. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you in the next one.